Far ahead, tonight, as you slowly settle into your pillow, let your breath soften and your mind grow quiet. We begin a long, peaceful journey across time, across gentle desert winds, to a world where history moves at the speed of a dream. This is a civilization that lived in harmony with the moonlit nights, the golden sands, and the calm heartbeat of the flowing Nile. For the next 2.5 hours, you will drift through temples, silent deserts, starry skies, and ancient villages, each one whispering stories that fade gently into the night. Let the past unfold around you, softly, slowly, as you drift deeper into comfort and deeper into sleep. Imagine yourself standing beside the great river Nile. The moonlight glows silver on the surface, and the water moves as gently as you're breathing right now. The air is cool, the night is quiet, and the soft rustle of palm leaves fills the space around you like a calm lullaby. In ancient times, the Nile was not just a river, it was the giver of life. Every year it flooded gently, bringing rich black soil that fed the farmlands and nourished the people. Farmers would wait patiently for the waters to rise, never rushing, never worrying, because they knew that nature always moves at its own peaceful rhythm. Tonight, you stand where those farmers once stood, feeling the same soft wind, the same quiet world, the same steady heartbeat of the river. In the distance, a small wooden boat drifts by, its lantern glowing warmly, casting golden patterns on the gentle waves. The night is deep, still, and safe. The stars shimmer above the desert horizon, as if they are watching over you. Breathe slowly and allow the calmness of the Nile to wash over your mind, bringing you closer to a peaceful and restful dream. As you leave the quiet banks of the Nile behind, you begin walking along a soft, sandy path, leading toward a small Egyptian village resting peacefully under the starlit sky. The air is warm but gentle, like a soft blanket wrapped around you. Up ahead, you see faint golden lights, small oil lamps glowing outside simple mud brick homes. Each house stands quietly, each doorway calm, as if the whole village is breathing in harmony with the night. You take a slow step forward, feeling the cool sand shift softly beneath your feet. With every step, the world becomes quieter, more peaceful, more soothing. As you enter the village, you notice how serene everything feels. Nothing is rushed, nothing is loud. Even time seems to slow down in this ancient place. A gentle breeze passes by, carrying with it the faint fragrance of freshly baked bread, the kind Egyptian families made before settling in for the night. Nearby, a potter finishes his final bowl of the evening. He moves slowly, with practiced hands, shaping the soft clay with calm, steady motions. He looks peaceful in the glow of his lantern, as if the quiet night is guiding his every movement. A little further down the path, you see a woman weaving linen threads on a simple wooden loom. Her hands move softly, rhythmically, creating the fabric that ancient Egyptians used for their clothing, bedding, and even sacred rituals. The loom clicks gently, a slow, steady sound, almost like a heartbeat echoing through the quiet village. Beside her home, a fisherman repairs his net for tomorrow's morning catch. He hums a soft tune, low and calming, a melody passed on from far earlier generations. His lantern flickers beside him, casting warm patterns across the sand and illuminating his peaceful smile. As you walk deeper into the village, dogs sleep near the doorways, curled up in comfort, breathing softly. Children, too, have drifted into dreams, wrapped in light linen blankets, resting safely in the warm glow of the desert night. The air is filled with quiet life, simple life, peaceful life. You walk past a small marketplace, empty now, its baskets and wooden tables resting until dawn. During the day, this place is full of voices,
laughter, and movement. But at night, it sleeps, just like you are about to. You sit for a moment on a smooth stone bench near the edge of the market. From here, you can see the entire village, silent, unmoving, glowing gently under the moonlit sky. You breathe in slowly, letting the calmness fill your chest, and you breathe out even more slowly, letting all tension melt away. The night wraps around the village like a soft, protective veil. And for this moment, you are part of this world, a peaceful traveler walking through history at the pace of a dream. When you're ready, you stand up again and continue your gentle journey toward the next quiet chapter of ancient Egypt. As you leave the quiet village behind, the sandy path widens and the warm night air grows still, almost sacred. Ahead of you, rising softly against the moonlit sky, stands the pharaoh's palace, not loud, not imposing, but calm, silent, glowing like a peaceful guardian of the ancient world. Its tall columns cast long, gentle shadows across the smooth stone courtyard. Torches flicker softly along the walls, their flames swaying as if breathing with the night. You step closer, your feet touching the cool stone floor, and the quietness deepens around you. The palace doors are open, inviting, warm, unhurried. Inside, the air feels cooler, filled with the scent of incense and lotus. As you walk through the entrance hall, you hear soft music, a slow, delicate melody played on ancient harps and flutes, each note drifting gently through the vast halls like floating feathers. This is not a place of noise or power. At night, the palace becomes a home of peace, where even the mighty pharaoh lets go of the burdens of the day and surrenders to rest. You walk deeper inside, your footsteps quiet beneath the high ceilings. Servants move gracefully, their footsteps light, their voices soft whispers. They carry linen cloths, bowls of scented oils, and warm lamps to prepare the king's resting chambers. Their movements are slow, steady, almost like a ritual, a sacred practice passed through generations. As you follow the corridor, you reach a spacious hall decorated with golden carvings. But the gold does not shine loudly. It glows softly, reflecting the calm firelight and gentle waves. Paintings of gods and ancient stories line the walls. Ra, traveling across the sky. Osiris, watching over the afterlife. And Ma'at, the goddess of balance and harmony, with her feather resting lightly upon her head. The Egyptians believed that true peace came from living in Ma'at, a perfect balance of mind, heart, and world. Tonight, you feel that balance surrounding you, holding you, guiding you. You approach a quiet chamber where the pharaoh himself rests. He sits on a low cushioned seat, dressed in soft linen robes. He is not wearing his crown now. He doesn't need symbols of power at this hour. His face is calm, eyes half closed, breathing slow and steady. Servants bring warm oils to soothe his shoulders, oils made from lotus, almond, and desert herbs that Egyptians believed brought peace to the mind. The music continues playing, softly, a gentle lullaby for the king of a vast land. The pharaoh listens, relaxes, and releases the weight of the day. Because even the ruler of Egypt must rest, dream, and find stillness in the quiet of night. As you stand quietly, you feel a sense of serenity fill the chamber. Nothing rushes, nothing demands. Even the flames of the torches dance slowly, their light warm and comforting. After a few moments, the pharaoh rises and walks toward his sleeping room. You follow at a respectful distance. Inside, a soft bed of woven reeds covered in fine linen awaits him. A small oil lamp glows beside it, casting gentle patterns on the stone walls. Before sleeping, the pharaoh speaks a short prayer, thanking the gods for the day and asking for peaceful dreams to guide him into tomorrow. His voice is low, steady, and filled with gratitude. As he lies down, the palace grows even quieter, as if the whole building is settling in to sleep alongside its king. You step back into the hallway, feeling the calm energy of the palace wrap around you like a protective embrace. Here, in the home of kings, night is sacred, peace is permanent, and every sound, every breath moves with gentle purpose. You walk toward the palace exit, your mind calm, your body light, ready for the next peaceful chapter of your long journey through ancient Egypt. As you leave the quiet palace behind, the night opens up again, wide, gentle, and filled with soft desert air. Ahead of you, tall shadows rise slowly into the moonlit sky. These are the ancient temples of Egypt, silent giants watching over the land for thousands of years. You walk toward them, each step calm, steady, unhurried. The temple gates stand wide, not to impress, but to welcome. Two great statues sit on either side, their stone faces serene, their eyes fixed on eternity. They do not feel intimidating tonight. Instead, they feel like old guardians, keeping the night safe, keeping your path peaceful. As you enter the temple grounds, the air cools around you. The stone beneath your feet feels smooth and ancient, holding memories of countless footsteps that walked here before. Inside, tall columns stretch upward, painted with soft colors, deep blues, earthy reds, warm gold. But under the moonlight, those colors quiet themselves, fading into gentle shadows. A single torch flickers on each column, their flames swaying softly as if breathing with the night. The sound in the temple is almost nothing, just the hymn of nighttime stillness. Further inside, you hear soft voices, gentle, respectful, voices of priests performing their nightly rituals. Their white linen robes seem to glow in the dim light. Each movement they make.
You sit quietly near the altar, letting the stillness wash over you. The flame flickers gently, casting soft waves of gold on the temple walls. This moment feels timeless, sacred, like the temple is breathing with you. As you rise, the priests finish their chants. They bow their heads in silent gratitude, thanking the gods for the safety of the night, the calm of the desert, the shelter of the temple. You walk back toward the entrance, slowly, peacefully, as the incense trails behind you like a warm, gentle cloud. Stepping outside, you look up at the sky, a calm expanse of silver moonlight and shimmering stars. The temple behind you stands tall and silent, a peaceful guardian under the ancient night. And as you walk forward, your journey continues, deeper into the calm heart of ancient Egypt. As you step away from the moonlit temple, the world around you opens wide again, vast, quiet, endless. The soft path beneath your feet leads you slowly toward the open desert, a place where the night feels larger, calmer, and more peaceful than anywhere else on earth. You walk gently forward, the sand cool beneath your steps, each grain whispering under the weight of your feet. The desert at night is nothing like the desert by day. It is tender, soft, almost comforting. The heat fades, replaced by a soothing breeze that brushes lightly against your face. You breathe in, the air clean and pure. You breathe out, your mind growing still. As the sands stretch before you, the sky above becomes an enormous ocean of stars, bright, shimmering, spreading from horizon to horizon. Millions of tiny lights alive in the darkness, twinkling softly like distant whispers of ancient worlds. The Egyptians believed the night sky was a great river, a celestial Nile flowing across the heavens. They imagined souls sailing among the stars, guided by gentle spirits of the afterlife. And tonight, as you look upward, you can almost feel that river flowing, slow, peaceful, eternal. You continue your slow walk until the village behind you disappears. The temple becomes a distant shadow, and only the open desert remains, quiet and vast. A small sand dune rises nearby, smooth and soft. You climb it gently, your feet sinking a little deeper with every calm step. When you reach the top, you sit down, the sand warm beneath you, the sky infinite above. Here, in the heart of the desert, time moves differently. Moments stretch, thoughts fade, and everything feels simple, soft, and peaceful. A gentle breeze blows across the dunes, creating faint, sleepy patterns in the sand. You can hear it, a soft whispering, like a lullaby sung by the desert itself. As the breeze moves, you feel your own breath slowly matching its rhythm, in and out, calm, deep, steady. Far on the horizon, you see the faint glow of the Milky Way, a silver band of light stretching across the heavens like a gentle bridge between worlds. You lie back on the sand, feeling weightless, as if the stars above and the earth below are holding you in perfect balance. Ancient travelers once slept like this, under the open sky, trusting the desert to cradle their dreams. The Egyptians believed that the goddess Nut stretched her star-covered body across the sky, protecting all who slept beneath her. Tonight, you rest under her celestial embrace, wrapped in her endless blanket of shimmering stars. The night deepens, but the desert stays gentle. Every sound is soft, quiet, peaceful. Your thoughts drift slowly, becoming lighter, like grains of sand carried by the wind. You feel calm, safe, deeply relaxed, as if the desert itself is inviting you to let go, to breathe, to drift. And when you rise again, you will continue your long, peaceful journey into the heart of ancient Egypt.
As villages grew, the distance between them grew too. So travelers began to walk longer paths, carrying small bundles of goods wrapped in cloth. They followed rivers, then forests, and finally open plains. Without knowing, they were creating the first trade routes, soft lines connecting one culture to another. These paths would one day become some of the most important routes in human history. In warm deserts, footprints slowly turned into trails. People used donkeys at first, but soon the camel became the king of the desert. Its slow steps, steady breathing, and calm nature made it perfect for long journeys. Caravans moved like gentle waves in the sand. At night, they rested under star-bright skies, trading stories as much as goods. The world was changing, softly, quietly. Not all traders crossed deserts. Some climbed mountains, following narrow paths carved by nature. They carried salt, wool, stones, and spices downwards into the valleys. In return, they received fruits, grain, and metal tools. These exchanges made both sides richer, not only in items, but in ideas, beliefs, and culture. With every step the traders took, civilizations moved closer together. Egypt met Mesopotamia, India met Persia, China met the nomads of the steppes. The world was becoming a web, a gentle network of travelers, stories, and friendships. Trade did not only move objects, it moved music, medicine, art, technology, and sometimes wisdom. The early trade routes may seem simple now, but they were the soft heartbeat of a world beginning to connect. As we drift into the next chapter, let your breathing slow down and imagine the calm footsteps of those ancient travelers walking beneath endless skies. Long ago, people lived in small clusters of homes, simple shelters made of clay, wood, and straw. But as families grew, as crops became richer and tools became sturdier, these small villages began to evolve. People started thinking of themselves not just as families, but as one community. They shared work, shared food, shared joys, and shared safety. And from these peaceful bonds, the idea of a kingdom began to form. 1. The first leaders. Before kings existed, leaders were chosen simply because they were wise, calm, and trusted. Not rulers, but guides. They settled disputes, protected the weak, and led celebrations during good harvests. Over time, their influence grew. People looked up to them, and slowly, gently, these leaders became known as chiefs, elders, and finally, kings. But these early kings were nothing like the grand rulers of later history. Their power was quiet, their rule soft, like a steady flame guiding a village through the night. I'm ready to continue this relaxing journey through history. As leadership grew, communities began building new structures, not physical structures at first, but social structures. Roles for farmers, roles for hunters, roles for builders, roles for guards, roles for storytellers. Everyone had a purpose. Everyone knew their place, and together they created harmony. This gentle structure allowed villages to grow into townships, and then into small nations.
With larger communities came conflicts over land, over water, over harvests. So leaders created early laws, simple rules, meant to keep peace. They weren't written down in books yet. Instead, the elders spoke them during gatherings. Respect your neighbor. Protect the fields. Honor your word. These early laws shaped the soul of the kingdom, calm, fair, and steady. As towns grew, they needed protection, not from constant danger, but from the occasional threat, wild animals, roaming tribes, or harsh storms. So groups formed, trained not to conquer, but to guard. Their footsteps echoing softly through early settlements, brought a sense of comfort at night. They were not warriors, they were guardians of peace. Centuries passed, and the small kingdoms grew larger. Nearby settlements joined together, seeing the benefits of unity. This period of slow expansion was gentle and natural, not fueled by conquest, but by cooperation. Kingdoms became early civilizations, the foundations of the world we know today. The dawn of early kingdoms was like the sunrise after a long, quiet night, soft, warm, and full of promise. As this chapter ends, let your mind rest, imagining peaceful villages evolving into early nations, guided by wisdom, community, and calm leadership. Since the beginning of time, rivers have carried more than water. They carried life. Ancient peoples discovered that where rivers flowed, crops grew stronger, animals gathered, and travel became easier. So they built their homes near these calm, moving waters, never realizing they were laying the foundations of the world's first great civilizations.
The Nile River in Africa moved like a ribbon of silver through the desert. Every year, it flooded gently, leaving behind rich, dark soil that made farming easy and life peaceful. Small huts became villages, villages became towns, and slowly Egypt was born. Farmers harvested wheat, fishers cast their nets, and children played by the river's edge, all under the watchful rhythm of the Nile's eternal flow. Far away in the Middle East, two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, embraced a wide, fertile land. People settled here because the earth was soft, the crops grew fast, and water was always near. They built simple homes from mud and clay. They made the first cities and invented writing, all inspired by the rivers that whispered through their land. This place would one day be known as the cradle of civilization. Further east, where gentle mountains met wide plains, the Indus River carried cold, fresh water from the Himalayas. Here, people built carefully planned towns with straight roads, organized homes, and advanced drainage systems that were far ahead of their time. Life was calm, peaceful, steady. The river gave them food, transportation, and identity. Across the Far East, the Yellow River flowed through open fields and wide valleys. The soil it carried was as fine as powder, perfect for crops. Families settled here, planting millet and wheat, starting traditions that would last thousands of years. From these simple beginnings, the earliest Chinese dynasties emerged, born from the patience and constancy of the river.
Each river taught its people something different. The Nile taught timing. The Euphrates and Tigris taught innovation. The Indus taught harmony. The Yellow River taught perseverance. Together, they shaped the earliest chapters of human civilization, not through war, but through water, through quiet growth and gentle progress. As Chapter 8 comes to an end, let your mind float softly like a small boat on calm water. Feel the ease, the simplicity, the quiet power of the rivers that guided the earliest humans toward a structured, peaceful life. Thousands of years ago, people remembered everything through stories. Stories told around fires, stories passed from elders to children, stories that traveled from one generation to the next. But memories fade, voices change, and people realized if knowledge was to survive, it needed a new home, not just in the mind, but in something more permanent. Before words, there were symbols, simple scratches on clay, lines drawn in wet mud, patterns carved onto bones and stones. These marks were not sentences, but reminders, a record of how many animals someone owned, how much grain was stored, or when the last flood came. Small steps toward a giant transformation. In ancient Mesopotamia, along the peaceful rivers of the Tigris and Euphrates, the Sumerians created something new. They pressed reed sticks into soft clay tablets, forming small wedge-shaped marks. This system became known as cuneiform. At first, it recorded trade and farming, but slowly they wrote stories, laws, prayers, and the first literature in human history. One quiet invention changed the future forever. Far away, along the gentle flow of the Nile, Egyptians created something beautiful. Their writing looked like art, tiny birds, eyes, plants, waves. These symbols were called hieroglyphics. Priests carved them into stone, painted them on tomb walls, and brushed them softly onto papyrus scrolls. Each symbol carried meaning and magic. Writing became a bridge between the living and the spiritual world. In the Indus Valley, people created their own symbols, carefully carved onto seals and small tablets. No one alive today can fully read them. They remain a peaceful mystery, whispering secrets from thousands of years ago. In ancient China, writing grew from pictures, simple drawings that became characters. Over time, a graceful system was born, written with soft brushes and flowing ink. These characters carried ideas, feelings, philosophy, a written tradition that continues to this day. Writing allowed humans to share knowledge, keep memories alive, preserve traditions, record history, create stories, build civilizations. It was like giving humanity a second brain, one that never slept, never forgot. Because of writing, the past could speak to the future.
As Chapter 9 comes to a gentle close, let your thoughts settle like ink drying on ancient paper. Imagine the soft glow of firelight, the careful hands shaping symbols, and the quiet birth of writing, the foundation of everything we know today. For thousands of years, people lived in tiny communities, simple homes made from mud, wood, and stone. But as farming improved, as food became more reliable, families grew and neighborhoods expanded. Paths turned into roads, small markets appeared, and voices filled the air with laughter, stories, and trade. The world was gently preparing for its first great cities. Uruk, the first great city. In ancient Mesopotamia, near the slow-moving Euphrates River, a city began to rise. It was called Uruk. Here, people built wide streets, stone temples, and tall walls that protected the community from floods and wandering tribes. Uruk became one of the earliest places on Earth where thousands of people lived together, working, trading, sharing, dreaming. The world had never seen anything like it. Life inside the city walls.
Early cities were peaceful, organized, and surprisingly advanced. Families lived close together, sharing wells, ovens, and gardens. Markets grew louder with each sunrise, selling pottery, grains, tools, and woven cloth. Children played near open courtyards, while elders sat in the shade, telling old stories to anyone who would listen. The city felt alive, softly humming like a heartbeat. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, planned cities of the Indus Valley. Far to the east, near the banks of the Indus River, two remarkable cities appeared. Their names were Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These cities were carefully designed, with straight roads, public baths, and drainage systems more advanced than many cities today. Homes were built with perfect symmetry. Water flowed through organized channels, and the streets remained clean thanks to early sanitation systems. Life here moved at a calm, steady rhythm, a quiet harmony with nature. The Egyptian urban centers. Along the Nile River, small villages eventually grew into bustling towns. People gathered near temples, fishing docks, and markets filled with colors and voices. Although Egypt is known for its pyramids, its true power came from its cities, calm centers of art, writing, farming, and trade. Every sunrise brought new life to the riverbanks. Early Chinese settlements. Across mountains and valleys, ancient China built its first walled towns. These early settlements were filled with farmers, potters, bronze workers, and storytellers. They lived in harmony with the seasons, celebrating festivals under lantern light, welcoming the harvest with drums and dance. Their organized towns later became the roots of mighty Chinese dynasties. Cities as centers of culture. As cities grew, something extraordinary happened. Art blossomed. Music echoed through courtyards. Tools became more refined. Languages evolved. Traditions were shared. Ideas traveled faster. Cities became the meeting place of human creativity, a place where knowledge lived, and future generations learned.
Closing the chapter. As chapter 10 ends, let your mind wander through the quiet streets of those first ancient cities. Imagine the gentle sound of pottery being shaped, the slow steps of traders returning home, the peaceful glow of firelight inside early homes. Civilization was taking its first real breath, calm, warm, and full of promise. Long before modern machines, long before metal tools, people gathered stones, mud bricks, wood, and shaped them with their hands. They built not only for shelter, but for meaning, for community, for ceremony, for memory. These early structures were messages, whispers from the past, telling us what humans valued most. Stone temples and sacred places. Some of the earliest monuments were small shrines, simple places where people prayed for rain, harvest, and safety. Over time, these shrines grew larger and more detailed. Stone circles stood tall in open fields. Ancient carvings decorated entranceways, and people gathered at sunrise to honor the world around them. These early temples became the heart of their communities, quiet spaces filled with respect and hope. Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest monument. On a peaceful hill in ancient Anatolia, thousands of years before cities existed, people built something extraordinary. Tall stone pillars, massive rings, delicate carvings of animals. This place is called Göbekli Tepe. No one knows exactly why it was built. Was it a temple? A gathering place? A symbol of early human imagination? Whatever it was, it shows that humans dreamed big long before they lived in cities. Egypt, builders of earth and sky. Along the Nile River, the Egyptians built monuments that still stand today. Tombs carved into cliffs, temples bathed in sunlight, and great pyramids reaching the horizon. The pyramids were not rushed creations. They were built slowly, stone by stone, under the calm rhythm of the Nile's seasons. Workers moved with patience. Architects planned with wisdom. Generations contributed. These towering structures were symbols of hope, belief, and eternity. Mesopotamia, the ziggurats. In the land between the Tigris and Euphrates, people built stepped temples called ziggurats. Unlike the pyramids, these were layered like gentle stairways reaching up to the sky. Priests climbed the steps to perform rituals, to watch the stars, and to feel close to their gods. Each ziggurat was a peaceful lighthouse, guiding communities through seasons of life.
Monuments were different. They weren't tall or massive, but thoughtful, organized, and beautifully structured. Public baths, wide streets, granaries for storing grain. Their architecture focused on comfort, hygiene, and harmony. Their greatest monuments were not temples, but the calm, balanced cities themselves. Early Chinese builders worked mostly with wood, a living material that blended with nature. They built graceful homes, community halls, and ceremonial towers. Though many wooden structures did not survive time, their designs influenced architecture for thousands of years. Every beam, every curved roof reflected balance and peace. These early structures, whether stone, mud brick, or wood, were more than buildings. They were expressions of courage, of creativity, of unity. People worked together, shared tools, shared dreams, and created places that still whisper their stories today. As Chapter 11 fades to a gentle close, picture the soft glow of torches shining across ancient walls, the calm steps of builders returning home, and the steady heartbeat of civilizations growing stronger. Long ago, humans lived as wanderers. They followed herds of animals, searched for wild fruits, and gathered roots and herbs from the open land. Life was simple, peaceful, but unpredictable. Food depended on luck, seasons, and nature's gifts. Then, slowly, quietly, the world began to change. One day, someone noticed something small and extraordinary. If seeds fell on soft soil and rain touched the earth, new plants would grow. It was a gentle discovery, but it held the power to reshape humanity. People began experimenting, planting seeds near their camps, caring for the soil, and watching life bloom. This was the quiet birth of agriculture. As farming improved, something new happened. People no longer needed to wander far for food. They built simple homes near their fields, kept animals close, and created tools to help with planting and harvesting. For the first time, humans stayed in one place. Villages formed, families grew, and life became more stable, more peaceful. In the gentle curves of the Middle East, in a region called the Fertile Crescent, wheat, barley, and lentils were among the first crops ever grown. The soil was rich, the rivers were kind, and the climate helped the seeds flourish. Here, early farming turned small camps into the foundations of future civilizations. Along with crops, people learned to care for animals, sheep for wool, goats for milk, cattle for strength, and dogs for protection and friendship. Animals were no longer hunted. They became partners in daily life. This deep bond helped humans build stronger, calmer societies. While the Fertile Crescent farmed wheat, other parts of the world found their own crops. In Africa came sorghum and yams. In China, rice and millet. In the Americas, corn, beans, and potatoes. Different lands, different seeds, but one shared idea.
With steady harvests, people could now store food, plan for the future, feed larger families, build permanent homes, trade surplus crops, specialize in new skills. Farming allowed humanity to think beyond survival. It opened the door to culture, innovation, and community. Civilization began not with war or power, but with seeds. As chapter 12 softly ends, imagine early farmers working at sunrise, hands touching the earth, planting hope for the future. Feel the calm rhythm of ancient fields, the whisper of wind over grain, and the peaceful beginnings of a settled world. Long after symbols were created, and long before books became common, there was a quiet age when writing was nothing special. People wrote slowly, carefully, but without any excitement. Most writings were not stories, not legends, not poetry, just simple records of simple things. A list of grain stored for the season, a note about animals born on an ordinary day, a mark to remember how much water was taken from the well. The writer sat in silence, tapping small marks on clay or smooth wooden boards. Their hands moved gently, their minds calm, focused only on making each silent symbol clear enough to read later. No one rushed, no one celebrated. It was just another task, done quietly, in a world where time moved slowly, and every day felt almost the same. In these forgotten moments, writing began to shape history not loudly, but softly, line by line, symbol by symbol, recording the most ordinary details of ordinary lives. Long before grand trade routes and long before famous explorers, there existed simple paths walked by ordinary people every ordinary day. These roads were not built with any great plan. They formed slowly, one soft footstep at a time, as people traveled between nearby places for small, everyday reasons. A visit to a neighbor, a walk to fetch water, a trip to gather firewood. Nothing impressive, nothing recorded in history books. The roads were narrow, sometimes just lines pressed gently into the earth.
of grass swayed silently on both sides, and the wind moved as quietly as the travelers themselves. People walked slowly, carrying baskets, simple tools, or nothing at all. Their journeys were calm, without urgency, without adventure, just movement through a peaceful world. These quiet paths connected homes, fields, and small villages. They carried no armies, no caravans, no kings. Only the steady footsteps of everyday life, traveling softly under the open sky. And though these roads rarely appear in heroic tales, they shaped human life in the simplest, most silent ways, one gentle journey after another. As we reach the end of this long, quiet journey through the most ordinary moments of human history, take a slow breath and let the stillness settle gently around you. History is often told through loud events, through battles, discoveries, and dramatic changes. But tonight, we traveled a different path, a quieter one, a softer one, a path filled with small footsteps, simple tools, ordinary days, and the gentle rhythm of human life. Nothing rushed, nothing intense, only calm, quiet, uncomplicated moments stretching softly across centuries. As you lie here now, let your mind drift with that same slow rhythm. Imagine the peaceful villages, the silent roads, the simple marketplaces where life moved at the speed of patience. Feel your breath growing slower, deeper, as the last thoughts of the day fade away quietly. You don't need to remember everything you heard tonight. You don't need to think about tomorrow. Right now, there is only rest, only calm, only the gentle comfort of being here in this moment. If your eyes grow heavy, let them close. If your body feels relaxed, let it sink deeper into the softness beneath you. You have spent a long, peaceful time listening to the quiet side of human history. And now, your story for tonight is almost complete. As the final seconds pass, allow yourself to drift into a deeper sleep, a quieter mind, and a calmer heart. Thank you for being here, for listening, for resting. May your night be gentle, your dreams peaceful, and your sleep deep and undisturbed. Good night, and rest well.